Saturday, September the 9th, 1967, Gstaad, Switzerland. This is to record a conversation with Mr. U.G. Krishnamurti.
Actually, you're not capable of doing it. So, Mr. Krishnamurti, you were saying that when this awareness is in effect, you say that that awareness also is aware of the bodily changes.
Bodily changes. You see what's happening inside you. How you see when you breathe in, you see what happens, and how the blood is flowing through your veins. You see when you make a movement like this, you see how this is functioning. You become aware, not that somebody is watching. You see, this is a peculiar kind of awareness. It's the only thing that we have, and since you do nothing else, you see. When you lie down, you see, there are no thoughts coming in. There is awareness. When thoughts come in, it's like an electronic eye. You see, when thoughts come in, you see, you notice for yourself, not that somebody is watching the thoughts or somebody is trying to do. You see, when you pass through these electronic eyes, there is a break.
What you're doing?
No. You see, when I'm giving this analogy, you see, when there is a thought, you see, suddenly coming up from somewhere. You are aware of what's going on inside. When the thought comes, there is a break, you see, in your listening or in your awareness. That is how you come to know of the thoughts. Otherwise, you have no way of knowing the thoughts.
I don't get that.
You see, you are lying down, you see, in a state of quiet. You see, everything is quiet. You see, the mind is not functioning anymore because the mind is put, is reduced to a state of servant. It's not anymore dictating what you should see, what you should be aware of, what you should listen. It's not there anymore. When you want it, the mind is there available as a servant. It obeys your orders. And the mind that one has is built through 50 years, 40 years. You see, it has become very sharp, and all that knowledge which has acquired through years is just available for you for the use. Otherwise, it's always there in the background. And there is only one awareness. Absolute, total, complete awareness of everything inside and outside. If you don't look at anything, the eyes, if you close your eyes, if you plug your ears, you see, what do you see? You have nothing to see there except what's going on inside. You are breathing, you see. In the night, you see, you hear, you see, without a stethoscope, you hear your laptop, you see, you can watch what's happening there, you see in your lungs, in your heart, and in the diaphragm, you see how it is, you see, and how the pulse, you can hear your own pulse without even touching it, you see. It's an extraordinary thing. You don't, you see, for the rest of your life, it's a discovery. Every day you discover something, you see, every time, because you wake up in the morning, you say, the past is not there for you. Completely, it's a blank slate. And it begins all over again.
But when you are aware, say when you're laying down,
yes,
and you're not seeing, and because your eyes are closed, what is the sensation of being aware of the blood, being aware of the pulse?
See, it's very difficult to communicate this. There is awareness, only awareness. There is nothing else. You see, a pure consciousness is operating in you. That's all there is to it. There is nothing else. Since you are seeing, there is a diversion, you see. So you are listening, you are seeing, you are smelling, you are talking. So you can't be aware of what is going on inside you.
Right now.
Right now, you see, I don't know if all these things are cut off. You see, they automatically cut off. The moment I close my eyes, you see, I can't see anything, I can't bring in any images. You see, if I close my eyes, you see, I can't, no matter what I do, bring the image of you into my mind because there is no mind.
The words come in your mind, but not...
Yes, the words, I listen to your words. You see, I can say, you see, Mr. Hislop, Mrs. Hislop, that's all. You see, how they look like, it's impossible for me.
Hard. Yes. The words come, but not the images.
Not the images.
I don't understand that difference, you know.
You have to live through it, you see, in order to understand. You see, there are only words, no images at all, of any kind. So, you see, the thoughts come, and so there is nobody who is trying to do anything about them. You understand this? The whole business of the observer and the observed is a total nonsense. It's of course, as a means, you see, to get there, they help you. But once you are there, the whole process is operating in a different way. It's very simple. You see, there is only one awareness. That's all. You are all the time aware of what is going on inside and what is going on outside. And there is nothing else. And since the thoughts have accumulated, you see, through years and years, the old memories are there, you see, they just don't leave you so quick. You see, they suddenly come. Not in images anymore. You see, the thoughts come. When the thoughts come, you see, there is a break in your awareness. I'm looking at you. You see, now there is a total attention. So, you see, no thought can enter, but in spite of my attention, sometimes the thought comes in, and so there is a break, you see. I immediately come to know of this. You see, the thought arises in me because there is a break in my, you see, visual, you see, attention. Otherwise, I wouldn't know. You see, I'm listening to something, and then the thoughts come in. You see, then I become aware of the thought only through this break of listening, through the break, you see, in seeing things. Otherwise, there is nothing. And you are always, you see, in this, you see, the whole total structure, you see, is destroyed by this, whatever you call that. You see, how it has come about, I don't know. It destroys the total structure of your mind. And the mind, which is the master of your mansion, this whole thing, you see, has suddenly become a servant. You see, he is not there. You see, if you don't want to use it, he is there. You see, if you have no use for the mind, your information, your knowledge, your memories, you see, it's not there. You see, you are looking, I am looking at you, that's all there is to it. I am listening, you see, to the voice there. That is all I am aware of. That is all I am aware of. That is all the word that I have. You see, whatever I see is the only word that exists for me. If you talk of something else, the war in Vietnam or something else, they are all words. You see, the hungry man, you see, the urgency of the world, there is no such thing at all. If I close my eyes, the world doesn't exist at all. It's very difficult to understand, you see. When we approach, you see, from this point, you see, Krishnamurti always talks of the urgency. Do you feel the urgency? Don't you feel the urgency? By this trick, he wants to push you into that, you see, situation.
Urgency.
Yes, you see, there is no urgency here to do anything about anything for that matter. It's all the war. You see, the only urgency I have is to take in everything that is there around me. And sometimes, you see, this suddenly, you see, why you become so attentive, it's not by your, the beauty of the flower is not because you call it beautiful, but there is something, you see, often by itself, the beauty is there. Not that I call that beauty, but that beauty puts you in a tremendous state of attention, and then the eyes become fixed, and nothing in that stage, you see, there is nothing, not even the thoughts can break in. It's impossible for the thoughts to break in. Nothing will, you see, distract you from that attention. There is a total attention. When there is something, when somebody is telling you something, like a baby, you listen to that. You see, the story, if you are something, it's because I don't know, if it's something new, what you are telling me is how it is done, what the doctor says. You don't have to be an expert, even the peasant talking to you. Because servant maid talking to you, or a servant can put you into the state of intensity. It doesn't have to be, is he a great profound philosopher, or is he your neighbor? Anybody, any child, anything, any flower, that bird can put you into that state of total attention and total listening. You see, that's the only thing that exists for you. Nothing else is there for you. So why this sudden intensity? It's not of your own creation. It is not of your making. You can't be a thing, you see, to put yourself into that state of intensity. All of a sudden, you become so silent. And what happens in that silence is, you see, nobody knows. After that, you see, because you see, it is simple, I know what it actually means. You see, because every nerve you see in your body, every cell in your brain, the total body, she was watching this yesterday. I asked her to look at what happens when there is this total attention. You see how the body vibrates, you know. And you get the feeling that you all of a sudden become a giant. This is not a vision. You see, you can't do anything. You can't, you see, but this happens. When this happens, you see, the whole body, this is pure and simple physical phenomenon. I don't want to attribute any religious or mystical thing to this at all. Why this happens, I don't know. But when this happens, you see, every cell in your body, you see, every part, the whole part, this, everything in this, you see, the physical being becomes so tight, you see, and then there is this kind of a stiffness, you see, and then this tremendous, you see, body shakes like that, you see, with a tremendous vibration. You see, you can see sometimes, you see, not that you can do it, but this happens, and then after a while, sometimes it lasts for 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours, sometimes 2 hours, you never can tell how long this will go on, and when that is gone, you see, that is bliss, you see, the relaxation. Then what is it that becomes aware of this bliss? It's not the mind. The mind can never catch that bliss at all, because the mind is not there. The mind is your servant. If it's a bicycle, it's a motor car, you can use it or throw it away if it has no use. But it is not damaged. It is sane, it is very intelligent, it is very sharp, all this sharpness that one has, you see, through 50 years, you see, I have sharpened this instrument. The instrument is there just for you. You see, the perfect instruments if you want to play. If there is a use for it, it is there. If I want to talk, the mind is talking and not something else now. So when I stop it, and there is a full stop immediately.
Well, in terms of, you mentioned bliss,
for want of a better word, they can call it love, is in that state, you see, because it's a thing which cannot be grasped by, there is no mind to, you see, to evaluate or to call it what it is, you see, why it is, so there is that awareness, you see, the awareness, there is only awareness, that awareness, there is some kind of a, something is aware of something else, you see, you don't know what it is, because you are not aware of your body at all. Yesterday, you see, this thing happened the day before yesterday, but this is what is called perhaps, you see, the samadhi, you see, you go into samadhi. I was lying down, you see, on the bed. Sometimes I wake up in the night, and because there is nothing else to do, because you don't think of anything else there, and so you watch your body, and your body is not there, you are not aware of the thought. Down like a baby sometimes like this, you see, on the bed. So this portion touches the bed. So where it touches the bed, you are aware of these spots, you see, not the whole body. You can't become aware of the whole body. And when this happens after a while, it's all of a sudden I found that there's some kind of a searchlight thrown on this point. You see, when this was some kind of an event, it's not a vision at all, you see. And when this searchlight, you see, on this particular point, you see, on the head, you see, like this. And then when the searchlight is something like that, you see, from the top, you know, in the aerodromes, the searchlight, you see, and then you see this disappeared. And then it moved to the next point. It's the awareness, you see, slowly moved from place to place, because this is the only thing that I was aware of, only these spots, these points where this body touched the bed.
It moved by itself?
By itself. You see, when this disappeared, it moved here, it moved here, it moved here, and back and forth, you see, like this.
Any volition on your part?
Nothing, you see, just listening to my breathing, listening to the heartbeat, you see, listening to everything that is, there is some kind of a peculiar sound which I have not been able to, you see, trace it, what it is, you see, like you see the river flowing in, perhaps the blood flowing through your body makes this kind of peculiar sound inside you, you see, which the Hindus call it Om or something they attribute, but nothing of this sort. The flowing is, you know, something like a river, you know, the water flowing through the tubes. So the blood produces these sounds. And so you see this moves back and forth and suddenly you're off, you see. So nothing exists for you. You see, after 1 hour I woke up, this whatever they call it, I don't know, whatever. I was wide awake. There was you see, this, some kind of you see, state of immensity, and what was it that was aware of this? I don't know, you see, because there is no way of knowing what was it that was aware of this state. But there was this pure consciousness operating all the time. Something was aware of something. That's all I can say. And after 1 hour, you see, I come back, and then again this usual the awareness. There seems to be only. Yesterday I was thinking, every day you discover something new, because you see, last night it was different because you can't carry over that. I can't carry over that. I can't put myself into that state. You see, yesterday it was also a different thing. I was lying again. All of a sudden I found, you see, this, what do you call this, comforter. You see, I thought, you see, I was the comforter, I thought, because the body underneath, you see, disappeared, only the head. There was awareness in the head that there was only the comforter. You see, from here on there was only comforter, there was nothing else. This was the second piece, totally unrelated to the previous one, but a similar one. But how it comes into being every time it is different. And then all of a sudden when the awareness disappeared from my head completely, and you see, there was only bed but no body. There was no comforter, no body there, but there was only an awareness of the body. You know, I was reminded of when I tried to narrate this to her, after when you are in that state you can't do anything. You know, in the Mickey Mouse stories, the Tom and Jerry, something falls on the cat and the cat becomes flat. You know? You see, when I woke up, you see, what is this? My body is so flat. This analogy I was reminded of, this cat and Tom and Jerry. Something hard thing falls on that and it becomes a flat thing and it wakes up. You see, the cat is flat. I was flat for a while and then the body disappeared. There was only bed. And what was it? You see, so then the curiosity is afterwards, not while it was going on. You see, you can't find it because something else is dragging you to that state when you come back. This awareness, you see, the everyday awareness comes into being, and then the question. You question it. You see, what is it? What was it? Perhaps then the mind comes in. Mind tries to understand. The mind cannot understand. You see, you can speculate. You can imagine. That is where the need, you see, or the place of mind is there. It comes there and it questions and it gets no answer. Because the previous thing it does not carry. Every time it is new. What is this? Tomorrow perhaps it will be. I will not go into that state, you see, for days and days. This only for the past 2-3 days. And then this completely exhausted me. And the last night I drank 7, 8, 10, 11 glasses of water, large glasses of that. And he said, your body is dehydrated. The lips became very dry, and I had to drink glasses and glasses and glasses of water after this tremendous, you see, energy. So you see, it's a very interesting thing because you don't have to listen to any of those theories, you see, because you are self-learning here. Every day, you see, it is something new. Every moment it is something new. Early days, you see, I have been in this state only for over a month, you see, but now, you see, to question, you see, it has become a very natural way. I don't question it. I see the flower every time, but what is this flower? You see, in the earlier days, there was this bewilderment for me to bring the word, the name into being. You see, what is this flower, this rose? So you forget it, and next time you look at it and you see you have to bring this again. What is this flower? Now I am not concerned, you see. What does it matter what it is? It takes longer time for me. There is no need for me. If somebody asks me what is that flower, you see, then you see I can bring it out. The mind will supply the answer. Otherwise, you see, you just look at the things as they are. What your name is, I don't know. You see, that's a fact. But you see, if you stop and ask me what is my name, yes, it's locked. You see, then the mind comes. Otherwise, the mind is not there. Only the eyes are looking at you, and I am listening to you, and I am talking. The mind is doing only one thing. Now it is supplying these words, the memory. The factual memory is all that is in operation. The psychological memory is not there anymore. If there is a use, you see, you use them. If there is no use, there is no use for the mind. It just sits there somewhere. Where it is, I don't know.
Well, when these states of intensity come, and then afterwards your mind becomes curious and asks a question.
So there are no answers, so I don't even question them now, you see. I am not even interested in calling it by any name. Is this peace or is this bliss or what? So earlier days, you see, I used to and I got no answer. If you give me an answer, if that book says so, Krishnamurti says so, if somebody else says so, so what value has it to me? It's a word. He says it's a beast. So what? So you might as well call it, you see, a dog or a monkey. It has no meaning.
So your mind is of no more value on the inside of you than my mind on the outside would be asking the question about.
Yes, not me. I am not asking. In the earlier days, as I told you, I was bewildered. The bewilderment often is the wonder. What is this? I know this. I have known this flower for so many days. Why the name doesn't come? I see the thing and I turn back, and then again you see, I look at it, you say, I have to ask this flower, the rose, what do you call this polenta? You see, I tried this and I found it's a useless thing to do. What for? What for is this business of questioning? What is this state? What is this flower? Why do I have to bring this, you see, into my mind every now and then? What flower is? What's the difference? It doesn't make any difference whether you call it a rose or call it by whatever name you like. So it doesn't matter at all. If somebody asks me, it is not that I don't know the name of the flower. I know. I have studied 256 orders in my university career as a student of botany. I know all the orders. If I want, they will come. But I am not looking at the flower through this. You see, this is rose, that is the daffodil, that is a sparrow, and that is something else, that is something else. So this is innocence. You see, when we talk of innocence there, you are so innocent, you see. Otherwise you can't look at your wife. You see, every time you look at her, it's something different. It's impossible. It's no matter how long you try, you can never look at your wife. Every time you look at her differently. It's a human impossibility. Only when this is a physical structure I am talking of, you see, this change is within the structure of the human body and not in the mind at all. You see, this is what I am going to insist, you see. And to imagine, we imagine. So we don't know and nobody ever tells us, you see. He tries you to put you into that state. If he does succeed, it's your discovery. It's something new.
He said mutation of the mind.
The mutation of the mind, yes, you can say there is a total change in the mind because the mind has become a servant instead of being a master.
But your mutation, that as you observe it,
Yes.
really comes in the body.
Yes.
The mind steps aside, becomes a servant, but the mind is the same sort of instrument that it was
It
before.
is just an instrument now, but mind is not directing my senses. You see, the mind used to dictate, you must see this and you must look at it that way, you must look at the flower and call that rose. Now you see, the mind is there if you want the name. The mind is there to supply you like a book, reference book. If you want it, it is there. If you don't want it, you see, you are face to face with this flower, you don't know what it is even. So to say, to look at a flower with intensity or when you say, go and look at a flower, you can never do that. It's impossible as long as the mind is there. The mind tricks you into all kinds of experiences. You think you are experiencing something marvelous, you see, but it is all a trick of the mind. But here you don't call that marvelous, you don't call that beautiful, you don't even call that a rose, but your eyes are just looking at it, that's all. You see, sometimes this very same rose can put you into a tremendous state because it has a beauty of its own, not because you call it beautiful or somebody else calls it beautiful. The flower is a beautiful thing, you see, it's an object of beauty. And so that puts you see, it doesn't have to be a flower, you see, the cry of a baby or the smile, you see, or the cow bells, you see. Although you know the cows, every day I see the cows, you see, that's enough, you see, the blade of grass is enough, or the nurse's answer is enough, you see, when he was narrating, you see, I have known Krishnamurti for 40 years, I know every bit of his life, you see, every statement he has made, every word in his verbatim report. When he was describing, you see, Krishnamurti, how he reacted to him, you see, what were his impressions were, you see, he was like a great actor to me, you see, he was telling something which I never heard of before, you see, about a man called Krishnamurti, you see, I don't know anything about Krishnamurti, so you listen with great interest, you see, all your attention is there. At that particular moment, here is a man who knows everything about Krishnamurti, I am going to listen to him for the first time. And so this can put you into that state, you see, you are off, you see, he's going on, you see, that puts you in a tremendous state, you see, the whole body becomes, it is a pure and simple physical thing, you see, when this happens, and then you see, there is a relaxation of all the muscles and the cells, everything in your body, and that gives you a tremendous sense, not elation, not ecstasy, not any of these things, you can't describe by any of these words at all. Because the mind is not saying what it is, because mind cannot call it by any name. The words, hundreds and thousands of words, all the rugged thesaurus of English words and phrases is there for me, without even looking into that book. But you see, it doesn't suggest anything there. You see, the mind doesn't suggest you have to call it. You see, I have to ask the mind, what do they call this? The mind, if it has an answer, it shows 60 words are there for you to call it by whatever word you like, but is any one of these words, or none of these words fit in that state. Because the mind is incapable of, you see, nailing that.
But the mind can describe certain characteristics.
Yeah, when I look at it, I can describe.
Because you said the muscles relax, the nerves relax.
The awareness, you see, so this relaxation, I have to use the word relaxation. So the mind supplies that word. Because I have noticed that there is this stiffness and then there is an immediate relaxation which has two changed states of awareness.
When the intensity comes.
When the intensity comes. So after that is gone, there is a relaxation. You see, I was aware of this state again.
You mean after the intensity goes?
After the intensity goes, there is a tremendous bliss, what you call it. You see.
But during the time of the intensity, there is no relaxation.
No relaxation because no thought ever enters there at the time. It's impossible because now, you see, it is all the time, the mind is, you see, is in a state of tranquility, serenity and peace. We use those words. All the time it is there after this mutation. Because it is not interfering, it is not directing, it is not dictating anything there, it is not doing anything. The mind cannot do a thing anymore. So the only thing that the mind can do is to let these things operate in their own way. The eyes, whatever they want to see, they see. When the eyes are open, you cannot but see. So when you close the eyes, you see, there is nothing to see because the mind doesn't supply any more images either of the past or of just what you saw a minute ago. So it is not there for you. Then you see, if I look at it and if I want to, what for? What do I want to know the name of this flower for? You see, earlier days, you see, I used to wonder why. You see, so now there is no need for me. What does it matter? What you call is your business. So the mind is not interested in supplying you even this information. But there is just the awareness of the flower. There is just the awareness of the things around you. That's all there is to it.
But the flower triggers this intensity one time, and the next time it doesn't.
It doesn't. Because the mind cannot, you see, say you last time this particular flower trickled you into this state, and so how about, you see, putting yourself into that situation? You see, the mind cannot do that anymore. Yesterday the mind could do that.
Oh, but now it can't.
Now it cannot do.
Cannot even try.
Cannot even try. Because it is not there.
It isn't a question of your choosing not.
No, the mind cannot do a thing with you anymore. With the senses, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but by you speak the senses.
Yes, senses, I mean, you see, the mind cannot dictate, you see, or say that you must look at this flower because last time it produced this state. Because every time it's a different state, you don't know what it is, you see. Why, you see, which flower or which smile or which blade of grass put you into the state you don't even remember. Because you don't go and look at it with the idea of putting yourself into that state because the mind cannot do that anymore. So there is no experiencer wanting this experience. There is no experiencing at all anymore. When there is a mind, there is experiencing. So that experiencing naturally leaves you see a residue. So when there is no experiencing except seeing, so it is not accumulating anymore this residue. If it is finished, this whatever is accumulated yes, up to the 30th of August or the 1st of August, it is there. From now on, whatever I am learning, it is forgotten. You see, nobody is accumulating. It accumulated for 49 years and there was a full stop, finished.
That brings us to an interesting thought. Suppose this came upon a child before he managed to accumulate.
Yes.
Both historical and useful knowledge.
Yes.
How
is it?
Difficult situation.
I don't think no, but what does he want all this information for? You see, we have acquired all this information, all this knowledge, all this, you see, with the idea of doing something with them. You see, the more and more, you see, to be somebody, to do something, you see, to become somebody. So that was the drive for this mind, for this individual to acquire all this information. If that is not there, you are learning and forgetting. It is necessary, you see, if you are to be an engineer, these are all, you see, there is no guarantee that such an individual will ever become an engineer. Krishnamurti talks in such marvelous terms, you see, but I don't think that such an individual will ever become an engineer and acquire all this knowledge. You see, I don't think so. I don't think, you see, no, because you are living the life of a live vegetable, that's all. No, you see, that's all. Living, talking, seeing, you see, but there's nothing marvelous about it, but there is everything marvelous about this, you see, being a vegetable, you see. It's a tremendous thing it is indeed, you see. But I don't think many people would ever want this. Life without pleasure, without pain, without ambition, you see, without ego. What is life, is after all? Why do people want this kind of a state? I want to know now. You see. I can't.
See what you get in small and what I can get around.
And then, now, see, what for? See, I got into this, you see, without my asking for it. But anyway, I may have done so many things. But what for? Yes, I see the life is very simple, and why these people, you see, involve themselves in all kinds of complicated things. You see, why do they have to go through all these miseries? So to that extent, you see, when somebody comes and talks to me, you say, what shall I do about my ego? You see, without ego, you wouldn't be what you are today. If you want to be a successful business manager, you have to have ego. You see, I can never be a successful business manager. You see, I may be creative in some other way. You see, I cannot give lectures on, you see, expound Shankara's philosophy anymore. It's a stupid thing to do. I won't study all these theories, you see, whether be it Buddhism or Hinduism or any religion for that matter. Because I myself learning about what are these theories for. I don't have any use for these theories. If I want to learn a car, I will learn a car. To learn to drive a car, I have to go and learn it. Perhaps I will do it much quicker because, you see, there is no fear, you see. I may not learn it quick, you see. I may run into this, I may run into that. You see, if I don't do it in 2 months, 2 weeks, all these things are not there. Because this total attention is there, I will learn it perhaps in 1 day. You see, I'll be able to drive the car all the way down to Geneva in 1 day perhaps, you see, I don't know. It's because there is a total attention, there is nothing else involved, the fear or wanting to learn it quickly or wanting to do something, if I don't do it, I might run into some kind of an accident, all these things are not there. See, my attention, my awareness is only on how this operates. So you see, the only thing you see that is there for me is how to run this machine. There's nothing else. Maybe I'll do it quicker, much quicker.
Well, see, because you said that living this way is much simpler, and you can't see why people so complicate their lives.
Yes.
But can people do anything about this business of complicating or not complicating their lives?
The mind being what it is, you see, it is bound to complicate things. There is nothing else. So the mind...
A person might say, well, I would like to accept you describe your life.
Yes.
But really, there's nothing you can do about that.
Well, how do you bring this state of being into operation? Well, what can we do about it? You see, we all speculate this state. We all imagine this state. You see, in terms of more, I have a peace. If I had what that chap has, I'll be more peaceful. You see, I'll be able to handle these situations without anxiety. It's because, you see, the mind is thinking in terms of more and more and more and more. All right, you see, when you are not thinking in terms of more and more and more, you see, there is no anxiety. You see, there is no competitive spirit. There is none of these things that the mind indulges in, you see, to accomplish something. So there is only a function, you see, you are all the time functioning as a functioning individual, that's all there is to it. So all these things, you see, are cut off from this structure.
No anxiety.
There is no anxiety because, you see, you are not going to accomplish anything, you see.
How about anxiety as to your physical situation?
The physical situation.
Illness, poverty, hunger.
Where are they? At this moment, are they in a... They are not there.
So no anxiety for the future?
There is no anxiety for the future at all. Where is this next moment? What next moment will be? See, this physical body, brain doesn't know. The mind knows. Not the mind of today. The mind of yesterday is projected itself into the future. It's all a neighbor falling ill, you see. But I am not looking at it. It's when somebody falls there, I am looking at that. What is happening to that? I don't even call that. You see, when I see that casket, I don't know what it is. Why she has this, you see, this white thing around her leg. Why is she limping like that? That is my question now. You see, how would I, you see, equate that, you see, to a future accident of mine? I will have to have that. When I am looking at it, I don't know what it is. So how can I think in terms of a future accident? I don't know if I make my point clear. When I look at her moving there, this is a fact. It's not an imagination I am telling you. It's a fact. I see her now moving. And what is the white thing she has? You understand? You see, then you see, I wait for a moment, and why is she limping like that? You see, if I put these questions, I might get answers. You see, I'm not putting questions when I'm looking at this, the way she's moving. I'm just seeing why she has this. I don't know if I make my...
Yes.
What is that white one she has, you see, around this cuff? That is why, you see, I'm looking at it, you see, in great wonder. Why is it so he hasn't got, why has she that one? How can such an individual think of his own accident, you see, the next moment? I don't know if I make... I'm only aware of, you see, this thing. I'm watching her do that.
The mind itself is...
The mind is not there. No, what it is, the mind, I don't know, the mind knows perhaps. If I ask the mind, what is it, why is she doing that way, then it supplies the answer. When I'm actually looking at her, you see, the mind is not operating. The mind is not operating. So I wouldn't, you see, relate that, you see, to the accident at all.
You wouldn't relate that?
I wouldn't relate that accident. If I go out of the room, I say I'm aware of something else. So this is gone. You see, I'm not carrying this image that, you see, this accident happened, and so she has to have this casket. That's why she is limping. So when I go out, I see a flower, and all that I have seen here is gone. And so where are these problems there in my mind? You see, because there is no mind, what will happen to me in my old age? You see, what about the accidents? You see, if your money is gone, you see, if somebody takes away the money, you see, from your bank, if you have no money, what will happen? Is I am not concerned at all. At this moment, what am I concerned? The only thing, the whole world for me is what I see around me. This is all the world that is there for me.
You're not concerned because the instrument of the mind.
The instrument of the mind
is to do that. No
longer there.
No longer operates by itself.
By itself.
There's only something there to
So all right, if I go and rest myself there in my bed, I'm not thinking of either of the future or of the past. So I was listening to my own loved up, you see, in the heart. So I'm not thinking of the next moment at all. When I wake up, you see, the breakfast time, you see, if she's not there, perhaps I will go down and, you see, I know where the bakery is. If there is bread, you see, there I take it. If there is no bread, you see, I go and get the bread. If the bread is not there, I don't even particularly want bread. Whatever is there, I cook, you see, to satisfy this hunger. Anything. It doesn't matter, even if there is a hamburger there, I would perhaps eat it. You see. As a vegetarian, you see, I never touched it. Now if you give me a hamburger and say that it is a hamburger, I relate that word to the hamburger, since I do not know the taste of the hamburger. Till I put it on my tongue, where is all this idea of vegetarianism? You see, a vegetarian will be very sensitive. All these are not there. There is just like any other thing there for me. So when I put it on my tongue, I realize, you see, that this is the way the hamburger tastes. I swallow it. And then the next moment I see the hamburger, but I don't have the taste on my tongue. So how can I reject that? So I would perhaps take it again. So this makes it impossible. It is not living from moment to moment. It is not a mystical concept at all. See, the physical body, the way it is functioning today, makes it impossible for me to live in any other way other than living by moment to moment. See, I don't know, see, that is the way, that is the only way that this human body without the mind can and will live. It does not know of anything any other way.
So this mind that waits in reserve to be called upon like a servant.
Yes.
Now it will supply factual information about the past,
Yes.
recognition and so on.
Yes.
If you required it to, would it also speculate about the future?
No.
You wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. Because it comes only in words, not in ideas. Only in words, you see. You know, you have used all these words before. I'm explaining, I'm talking so much. You see. And so how am I able to talk? You see, this sense is functioning, the vocal parts are functioning. And what is it that is supplying the words? The factual memory is supplying the words. It is not in terms of ideas. There are no ideas anymore. The mind doesn't supply ideas. The mind supplies words. The mind doesn't supply concepts. You see, it doesn't supply you concepts, it doesn't supply you ideas, it doesn't supply you images at all. So what the mind is there, that which it has, you see, accumulated, you see, through years, the factual information. That's all it has.
What supplied concepts and ideas before?
The mind. The psychological mind supplied all these concepts and ideas because we indulge in concepts, the images, you see. We don't know, you see, what actually is the state of the being, you see, of a spiritual teacher. We want, you see, otherwise I would be interested, you see, in listening to Krishnamurti or any spiritual teacher. Whatever he is talking is utter nonsense. To me it's absurd, you see, there are words and words to me because I would never listen to Krishnamurti or anybody for that matter. Not that, you see, if I happen to be there in the tent tomorrow, he is talking something, they are all words. You see, because they are all just pure and simple words, verbiage. What he is talking, I don't know.
What's happened to that part of the mind?
It suddenly disappeared along. It just disappeared. So, you see, I'm sorry. So there is no idea of my comparing. He may have more than I have. So that idea is not there for me. Whether he has anything or not, you see, whether he has more or less than me, whether that teacher is more than this man, all these comparisons, you see, they are not there for me, so I really don't know what he's talking. They are all words, they are all abstractions he's throwing at the people. And if they understand something, they understand something. I don't understand anything, what he's talking.
Well, this mind, the psychological mind that used to deal
Yes.
in concepts and ideas,
Yes.
where did that disappear?
Along with these changes, the bodily changes, you see,
Slowly or
no, immediately one stroke finished. I found myself one morning, I woke up and as if, you see, there was no yesterday.
Mind was gone
Just like that, you see, the body disappeared. First, you see, I felt I was on a sofa and I suddenly discovered something funny. What happened to my body? This was my first reaction, you see. There was only awareness, no body there. I opened my eyes and looked at my body as it was there. It's safe and sound. It's a solid. I touched myself, you know. And then I went to sleep that day. Woke up and they said, what happened to my yesterday? It's a clean slate. Complete overnight. It was a total clean slate. What happened yesterday? And then I tried to remember day before yesterday. And then you see the day previous to that. And I said to myself, well, what's the idea? You don't even know. You see, well, where yesterday was, why think of day before yesterday and the day before that? I said, this is a foolish thing to think of. Let us just forget it. So that the clean slate, not only every morning, you see, when I go out of this room, you see, it's again clean.
That mind,
I can write, you see, what we talk.
Yes.
You see, not in images, not in ideas. If I go home, I can write down what the conversation was all about. That's all there is to it. There's exact description of the words you used, I used, that's all, but no images. I can't describe you. As long as I sit here, I can describe your features, because I'm looking at you. You see, when I go home, I can't describe your features. I can't describe your features. It's very difficult, because there are no images. The words here, not the images, not the ideas.
Not the ability to describe the features.
No. I can't describe a thing unless I see. I can't describe what is going on inside unless I am aware of what is going on inside, you see. That's the reason why I can't theorize. I can't say anything unless I see, unless I feel, unless I touch, unless I put this on my tongue. I don't know what this looks like. Orange juice, or looks like apple juice. I know that's all. It may be something else, you see, because I have seen something like this, but till I put it on my tongue, how an orange juice tastes like, you see, I don't know. You see, when I put it and swallow the first sip again, you see, the process starts all over again. So this looks silly and sounds silly, but that makes it impossible for you to live in any other way other than living from moment to moment. You see, this is moment to moment, moment to moment. I drink it because the body needs it. If I don't take another sip, this is all right, forget it.
Has there been any intimation that the mind which has appeared might come back? Has it ever showed itself at all?
No, except in thoughts coming. You see, they don't die so quickly. The old memories die very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard. You see, so it takes perhaps, they come in very quick succession, you see, because this awareness is disturbed by these thoughts.
Yeah.
So then you become aware of the thought. Then you become aware of the thought. You see, when you become aware of the thought, you see, it's gone already. You see, so there is no thinker who is trying to do something about the thought. You see, he is not doing, there is nobody paying any attention to this intruder. So after a while, perhaps this intrusion completely stops. You see, now the gaps are becoming wider and wider and wider and wider. You see, the thoughts never come, you see, but most of the time it is if somebody asks me some question, there is an answer. If nobody asks any question, there is no answer. She has to walk with me all the way from here, which is the silent moving corpse. The eyes set, you see, that's all. If she asks a question, there is an immediate answer. If she wants something to know about the future, there is no answer at all. You see, or about the past, there is no answer. What we talk, you see, with his lots, if she asks, I will narrate, you see, without any feeling, as you call it, like a machine. You see, tape recorder repeats it. What images is, whatever you describe, it is there. You see, like a tape recorder, it repeats. You see, there are no images. I can't communicate any images with any feeling. You see, I can't tell you something about, you see, what that flower produced, you see, inside me. The beauty that, you see, that hit me, when I saw a particular flower, that feeling I am not carrying with me anymore. So I can say it's a rose, it's a beautiful rose. A beautiful rose is not as a concept, but just a word. If you want me to say, if you don't want to say it's a beautiful rose, it's how many times do you want me to say this rose, rose, rose? I have to repeat it.
You have to eat your cake because we're keeping you talking. Take a leak. Stop talking till you finish your tea.
Now I'm taking everything is finished. Now you take you off. Now the other one will
Like giving the children, no. What do you have? Maybe you can switch off for a few minutes and we just drink coffee.
Oh, you're taping like you see. So what should I eat for that matter? We ate a very heavy lunch, you see. And
When you mentioned a little while ago complex and complicated.
Yes.
You know, and you wonder why they don't live more simply. How do you make the estimate that
No, I don't really make an estimation. It's a statement which has no validity at all.
Yes.
For the simple reason, if somebody asks me a question,
Yes.
it's, what am I to do with this? How to be free from ego, or how to be happy? If somebody asks me, then you see, and why do they ask this question at all? You see, why do people ask this question at all? I never put that question to myself at all. And why does he ask me this question? I say, how to be happy? Why I am not happy? If you ask me a question, are you happy? I would say, I don't know. What do you mean by happy? What is happiness? See, it's not a tricky answer, but it's a factual answer. Because I never think in terms of happiness or unhappy, because you see, they are all feelings. You see, you become aware of a feeling. The feeling of a sex. You see, yesterday, some other day, you see the feeling that the flower produces in you. The feeling that you see a lame woman walking there on the street produces a peculiar kind of feeling in you. All these feelings are exactly of the same nature. There is absolutely no difference at all. So they are all feelings in you, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other coming there. Into you see, here you feel it. You see, but since you do not know that this feeling has come into being as a result of, you see, this or that or the other, I don't know.
Well, you don't connect.
I don't know what these feelings are.
But you know the result.
I am aware, you see, that, you see, something in me has produced this feeling. And the beauty of the flower, you see, the smiling face, you see, or something else, you see, has produced in me, I forget it, that's all. But it is not because of that, I don't relate this feeling because of that, you see. It is not the flower that has produced the feeling in me, I don't relate these two things together. Because this feeling is exactly the same when I turn, you see, to the other thing, you see, a lame woman walking down with the crutches. See, that is also producing me a feeling. I don't call it sympathy. Perhaps people call it out of sympathy, you have a feeling. Oh, that woman is a poor woman walking on stretchers, this crutches. So, but you see, that is one feeling, this is another feeling, this is another feeling, and somebody irritates me, you see, but let us say, it's in the breakfast, you see, every day. And so that irritation, what you call irritation, also is a feeling here. So it is not that you are trying to understand somebody. No, you can never understand a person. You can never understand a person who is irritating you all the time. That is the trick the mind plays with you. You must understand the person. So that is irritation. Obviously, you see, what the other person is doing is an irritating thing, but inside it is producing a feeling which is not different from any other feeling.
It could be the same.
It is exactly the same. It's because you are not trying to find out what is this feeling, how is this different from and distinct from the sex feeling or the feeling of, you see, the anger or the feeling of irritation. You don't know. You just have feelings coming up and down, so you become aware of the feelings.
You don't compare
there is nothing.
feeling with the other one.
You don't know what it is and what it is that has produced this feeling in you.
But logically, you make a jump in the mind, don't you, and say, well, it's the beauty of flowers and the beauty of the flower that produces the feeling.
There is a gap, because you turn you look at something else, this is another feeling.
Yeah.
So I look at something else, this is another feeling. By the time I turn myself to this side, that has gone already. So I'm not carrying it over, you see, to the next moment.
So logically, you say.
Logically, I say
that this object must produce this feeling.
must have produced this feeling. You can say, I can ask, stop this, what is this feeling? You see, perhaps this flower has produced a feeling. And so you turn to the next thing there, and this, you see, is producing another feeling. And so, you see, all these feelings are exactly the same, so you don't relate this particular feeling to the flower or to the person. You see, so, it is as simple as all that. You see, how sex becomes impossible for such an individual is, you see, not by practicing celibacy, not by controlling sex. When you hold, there is only touch for you, there is only sight. There is no mind. You see, to tell you, when you hold the hand, it is a soft touch. You see, the kissing is much more pleasant. There is nobody who is suggesting anything inside you. So you are only living with this, the touch of the hand. So you are not thinking of anything. The lip or the embracing will give you more pleasure. The more is not there at all. And so you see, the sex feeling is just like any other feeling. So how can such an individual indulge in sex? It is it's impossible. It's impossible. So it comes from this side. You can never control sex. You see, mind can never control it. You see, perhaps it can control, take exercises, practice celibacy 40, 50 years, and then there is a sleep and the man is finished, and he feels very sorry for what he has done. But here you see the impossibility. You see, the senses don't make it possible for such a being to indulge in what is called sex. First, the sex feeling is not different. It is not any more extraordinary in its intensity than you see the feeling that a flower gives, or you see a lame woman walking down. They are all the same kind. There is nobody who is saying this is more pleasurable. Holding the hand is less pleasurable than kissing, you see, a woman. Because I don't remember, you see, how a kiss is, what kind of a feeling it produced before. And so, the embracing of a woman gives more pleasure. So these are not there. It's when you are holding, you see, you are holding, you are looking at the features of this person. And when you turn your gaze, everything is gone. I am looking at you. So how you are not in any way different from her. You are a man, I know. You see, you are a different person. Different is in features, different is in everything. That's all I can say. But so why would I prefer, you see this to the other?
Yeah.
So it is as simple as all that.
Well, so when you say that, I now live life that could be described as being quite simple, and the other person seems to be living a life that could be described as different from mine, more complex.
Yes.
That's simply a logical conclusion.
According to you, or is according to the values.
Well, then how do you arrive at that?
I don't at all. If you say it is a simple life, what is a simple life? What do you mean by simple life? What exactly? You see, that's my question, you see. And why do you say that his life is very complicated? Who is it that is comparing? You are comparing. I am not comparing. I don't mean you individually. It's the people you see are comparing. That is a virtuous life. You see, this is an immoral life. So, you see, but by what definition? You have definitions, I don't have definitions at all. You see, you say it is a simple life, you say it is an immoral life, it is a spiritual life, it is something else. So these are all words to me. When you say, you can talk to me for 4 hours, you see, on the value of simple life, what simplicity has produced in this world, how a simple person is a very happy man, and all that, you see. I listen to you. You see, somebody else says, you see, you are missing so much. You see, in your life, I drink, I have, you see, all kinds of experiences. You don't know what you are missing. This man is talking something else. But what is he talking about? You see, I don't know what you are talking about. I don't know. It is as simple as all that.
But couldn't you make a judgment, for example?
There are no judgments. Where are the judgments, and who is judging? The ears are listening. There is no listener. So they are just listening to the words. So Krishnamurti talks, you see, he is talking something else. You see, I understand the words when he talks of awareness, what is meditation. He goes on for half an hour. You see, well, why this chap talks half an hour on meditation? And why are these people all discussing? That you wander there and you look and listen to this. That's all you can do there. If I go and sit there, you see, they are discussing what is meditation. Do they understand neither the speaker nor the speaker? And why, if he understands, that would be your question. If he knows what it is, why would he talk? Why would he discuss this for half an hour? I'm giving it as an example, you see. Why these people discuss what is meditation? The moment you put that question to me, what is meditation? You see, I understand the word meditation, but not the whole history that is there behind. You see, as a conceptual thinking, you see, what it means, all that is not there in me, although I studied it for years and years and gave lectures, hundreds of lectures on this meditation, but nothing of it is there in me. What is meditation? So I stop, because I have no answer to give. You see, the memory repeats that. What is meditation? What is meditation? What is meditation? That's all. If I knew the dictionary meaning, or how it is different from contemplation, perhaps you see, I go one step further, and there it stops again. So I'm already in a state of meditation. Already, the moment you put that question, why does this chap ask this question? Why is he concerned about meditation at all? That is my question inside. It's the next question. So if he were in my state of being, would he put this question to himself? He wouldn't put this question to himself. So naturally, if I am in a mood to explain to him, if he says, I can't give you any answer, sir, there is a chapel there, wayside chapel there, go, he talks on meditation for hours and hours. There is another man called Krishnamurti who is giving their talks. You go there. I'm sorry, I can't give you. Or if you are really interested, you see, this is still my basic difficulty. I don't know how I would deal with such questions. At the moment, I feel that I will be silent. You see, I'm going to be silent, not talk. Conversation, yes, with a few friends, but talking, giving discourses, I completely rule out for the time being. Because I neither feel the need to enlighten the whole world, What is this enlightenment? What is this illumination people are talking about? Why discuss it? If you are really interested, you see, in finding it out, so my next concern is to put you into my state of being. Since I myself don't know how I stumbled into this, I have to, you see, develop some kind of a technique. You see, some kind of a trick, you see, to trick you into this state. That's all I can do. You see, to trick you, into the, not that I don't know what the Hindu scriptures talk of, what these hundreds and thousands of religious spiritual teachers are talking of, or even what Krishnamurti is, although I have heard him for 40 years, I really don't know, I can't say anything about it. If you talk something about Krishnamurti, I would say you have to put that chap out of your mind, because he's not going to help you at all, because he's a barrier to you, I would say. Do you see that he's a barrier to you? So you have to free yourself from him also, as he's telling you, to free yourself from every other concept of meditation. See, here's another idea of meditation. As far as you are concerned, it is just an idea, another idea. In addition to all the other ideas you have accumulated, you have added one more idea, and so why do you want to stick to this idea? If you want to, don't come here. You see, no, I'm giving it as an example. I can't help you. If you go and listen for another 40 years, perhaps you will understand something. I really don't know. See, I don't know how to put you into that state of being. If you were in my state of being, you wouldn't ask any of these questions at all. I don't ask these questions at all. What is reincarnation? Is there any such thing as reincarnation? Because I know the next moment, if I die this moment, I am reborn again. So how am I concerned about what will happen to me? You see, when I actually die, I know at this moment what death means. You see, I have experience, not somebody else has experience, because this passes away, and the new moment is a rebirth. Because this is gone. You see, there is nothing, you see, there to think of beyond this particular moment. And so why would this individual be concerned about reincarnation? What will happen after the death? Why are these people concerned about this? What will happen after the death? These are the questions for individuals who do not live this way from moment to moment. You see?
I see. The idea presents a larger copy here. Yeah.
You see? So why is he concerned about reincarnation at all? You see? Why is he concerned about reincarnation? So this is my question, you see. I will ask you the same question, you see. Well, what do you mean by meditation? What is meditation? You tell me what it is, I will listen to you like anybody else in the world. Because I don't know. You see, it doesn't matter whom you are quoting and what you are saying. It is as profound, as silly as anybody else's statement to me, because I don't know, I will listen, I forget about it. Next time when you ask me a question, we are back again. So you can't educate me that way. I learn at this particular moment all about meditation from you. You see, and then you see the next moment, you see, you come and ask me the same question, you will have to tell me all over again the same thing. Because I haven't learned anything actually as an experience. To carry it over, you see, next time, to meet your question and answer your question in any meaningful way. So you say, I can't, next moment you come and we are back again in the same. You see, you ask me the question, what is meditation? I don't know, you tell me, I listen. So next time after 2 days you come and you ask me the same question, I am in the same position, because I haven't learned anything from this discourse which you are on meditation for 1.5 hours by you. You see, as long as you are talking, I am listening to these words. So nobody is recording. You see, I can repeat what you have said tomorrow when you meet. You see, this is what we discussed, you told me. I haven't learned anything, and so you have to tell me again. I am such a damn fool, you see. Such an ignorant chap, you see, you have to tell him everything. He will learn with great interest, you see, at this particular moment. All about meditation from you. So nobody is recording. You see, I can repeat what you have said tomorrow when you meet. You see, this is what we discussed, you told me. I haven't learned anything, and so you have to tell me again. I am such a damn fool, you see. Such an ignorant chap, you see, you have to tell him everything. He will learn with great interest, you see, at this particular moment. All about meditation from you, without saying anything about what is meditation, this is from my side. And so in this process, perhaps, of your talking, maybe this is all words. He's throwing words at me, he's throwing abstractions at me. Through these abstractions, he's not going to understand what is meditation, or this is the actual state of my being. You can guess, you can imagine, you can speculate, you can do anything except to know what exactly is this state. You see, it's not possible unless you live through. But how do you live through? You see, this prevents you. You see, all the ideas you have, this is to, no matter to whom you are listening. And that man is saying that what he's talking is preventing you to understand this state of being. Actually, because you have an idea. You have an idea that this man has something which I don't have. You see, this idea forces you to listen. You see, you would listen to me. If I talk all this nonsense to these to the girl there in the restaurant, you see, she would listen. He's a cuckoo. He's talking some nonsense. He's not, because you are interested in these abstractions. You are, otherwise she would never ask me the question, what is meditation? You see, she will ask me some other question. You see, some silly question, but that silly question is as profound as what is meditation to me. So I'm the same ignorant chap, you see, so I was, not the factual questions. I mean, if she asks, what is love, tell me something about love. I really don't know what love is. If you tell me, I will listen. And so how am I any the better for having listened, you see, to you or to anybody for hours and hours on these abstracts? You see, these abstractions have no meaning to me anymore, and you see, these abstractions prevent, you see. If anybody is very serious to point out, you see, first you must free yourself from all this crap, you see. So all these abstractions are not going to help you because that is not the way. It's because they stand in the way of your stepping into this, you see, being, because these abstractions, you see, are preventing you. Because you are formulating, and when you discover, this was one of the biggest shocks of my life. For 50 years, I imagine this religious experience, when it happened the way it happened, what a surprising shock it was to me, you see. Why the hell have I listened to all these abstractions for 30 years and practiced and experienced all these states, you see, according to the Hindus, ideas, according to Krishnamurti, according to Theosophy, according to so many things as I practiced all this. Why have I done that? Because anyway, whatever is done is finished, you see. But suddenly you realize, when you discover it will be completely different. You see, because you see, if you listen to me, this is going to be, if you think in terms of a physical change, perhaps it will come in a totally different way. Completely different way. It is bound to be new. It is bound to be new. It will not be the same at all. You see, you may use words which sound similar. You see, but it's not the same. It's not going to be the same. Then it's your discovery and it's your job. Then you will explain it in a different way, in your own way. As long as, you see, we are related to this, you see, we are not free at all, whether it is the X, Y, Z or anybody. Because these abstractions are preventing, they are the real barriers, because we can't understand this except in terms of abstraction. We can never imagine what actually is the state of Krishnamurti is. Through these abstractions we try to get there. He gives hints here and there. It is not a mystical content. There is no religious content to what is being said here. He gives the hints. But if you go and tell him there is a chap there who says, you see, he has gotten into this state of being, which sounds similar to what you are saying, and he would say, see, how is that going to help you? If somebody else says it is something else, and the third man says it is something else, and where are you? He would ask you. So you see, so when you discover it, it's going to be completely and totally different. It may not be, of course, it is bound to be in the physical structure, but your discovery will be completely different because it's new and it's yours. But we are discovering, we are experiencing only the abstractions and nothing else. And from this we are projecting an image. When the image is there, then you are sitting here and listening to this man, that man, and the third man, comparing A with B and B with C, and who is more advanced than this man, and has he a more advanced state, than this man? These things don't exist for me at all. If he is more advanced, because I am not thinking in terms of more, in terms of what? More in terms of what? So the whole structure, the hierarchical structure, of ideations and meditations in Hindu philosophy, just go out of the window, finish. Whether there are 4 stages or 5 stages or 6 stages, I may be at the lowest of the rungs, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not thinking in terms of anything higher. Anything more, not in terms of more experiencing. It is the mind that thinks in terms of experiencing more and more experiencing and more experiencing of what? So it is, that's the reason why, the mind is caught up in all this. You see, comparing one with teacher with the other, and who has actually transgressed this, it is a silly thing to do. Actually, it is a silly thing to compare one teacher with the other teacher, because the mind cannot help doing that. I am listening to all these things. As you said the other day, if I compared myself to the holiest of saints, what have I done? So I cannot compare myself. So I don't know what that experience is, what he has. If he has more, if he is something different, if he is actually the God walking on the earth, it doesn't interest me at all. Because I'm not concerned about that at all. It's not that I have a tremendous opinion of myself, or that I have realized the greatest things. Hundreds and millions of people have realized this kind of a thing before. But as long as I listened to them, their abstractions prevented me from stepping into this. Then once I saw this business, you see, of this, the difficulty of whatever it is, you see, when you don't know what it is, you are already there in your own, something different. It's not just saying I don't know. To be actually in the state of not knowing what that chap has, you see. The other chap has it, it may be nonsense, utter nonsense. Today it is an utter nonsense. If anybody, however great a following that particular spiritual teacher has, it is nonsense to me. If people say that he's more advanced, he has a tremendous following, yes, follow him. I don't know what it is because I don't know what I have, except you see the awareness is changing from moment to moment. Just this awareness. I don't know if I'm able to explain anything. I'm going round and round and round.
So when you say you don't know, it's because the only thing that you know is this from moment to moment business.
The only thing
when you're really in a position of not knowing anything else.
No, it's the only world that exists for me is what I see around me at this particular moment. So how can I be ever interested in what is happening, you see, in Vietnam? Can I ever feel the urgency? When he was talking of the urgency, don't you feel responsible? I am neither feeling responsible nor irresponsible. When I am there, you see, placed in such a situation, perhaps I would do what is necessary at that particular moment. You see, so I am not thinking in terms of how to handle this problem, how to handle the problem, what is the solution for hunger. You see, these are all meaningless things to me at this moment. The only world that exists for me, this is all there is for me to enjoy. And so why would such a person be thinking of anything else other than what is there for me? So all these either philosophical abstractions or the political problems or social problems or any problem for that matter, this is not my concern at all at this particular moment. It's the next moment where I would be, perhaps I would go back home, that is sure, you see, I know how to go back there. When I get there, you see, I will see a different thing, you see, the valley is different, the situation is different, the things are different, everything is different there. So that will be the world, you see, when I find myself at the next moment. So the world problems, you see, have no meaning at all to such an individual. And to feel the urgency or the responsibility, these are all the tricks, you see, of a person who is full of compassion, who wants to help people, who wants to put you into this state of being, my gosh, if somebody gets into this, perhaps he will help somebody else, you see. Then this is, perhaps the world problems can be solved in a way. And what is the new society? I am the new society. Not that I am going to build a new society, see, a new Jerusalem somewhere else. I am the new society because my relationship has changed. I have actually no relationship at all, you see. Whatever relationship is there, you see, I have all the relationship at this particular moment. What is the relationship? What actually is the relationship is? I am here for tea and you have given the tea and forget it. Why you have done it, this is not my concern. Why I have come here, this is not my concern. This I wanted to see her, that's all. You see, I couldn't see her day before yesterday. And so I wanted to see her and I am here. And this is all there is. It is as simple as all that.
What has happened to the world of sorrow?
There is no sorrow. There is no sorrow. There is physical pain here. This is hurting me. So I become aware of this, you see. So I must do something, or if I don't do something, you see, the physical pain. What is the point in suffering? Who is it that is suffering? It's not philosophical or some mystical concepts. I have become aware of this. So naturally I will do something about it, you see. If I don't know, I'll go to a doctor. You see, they say the doctors can do that. So you see,
well, what do you feel that individuality is, as you now see in the situation? That is... Yes. Go ahead.
The individuality is when you step out of the structure. So you have become an individual. Till yesterday, you see, I was not different. I was part of the society around me. But not that I feel this individuality you are talking. I don't know what exactly you mean.
Well, I mean that you are a separate person walking around this town.
Yes.
And you talk about things that I'm not part of.
Yes.
Therefore, it's not part of me.
That is why you can say individual. Till yesterday, we all share this, exactly the same thing.
Yes.
So we were all part of this same structure.
Yes.
Since somehow, I don't know how I stepped out of it. It was not by my will or volition or by my effort or my prayers or my meditation or or by any of these things, you see, somehow something happened, I just found myself outside this structure. So you see, that can happen only when the structure inside is destroyed. Otherwise, as long as the structure inside is there, you are part of that. You see, there is no separation, although we separate ourselves. See, actually, we are all thinking, feeling, doing exactly the same thing. So since this structure doesn't exist anymore inside me, you can say that you see, I am an individual. It's because that's all you can say. But I won't say that I am an individual separate from anybody or superior to or anybody or nothing. You see,
you couldn't say what is that individual.
What is that individual? I am explaining. Maybe this is perhaps what you mean. You see, this is perhaps what you mean. I really don't know. So what exactly do you mean?
What is your self-consciousness now?
There is only one consciousness. There is no self there. As long as the self is there, the self is a bore. It's a boredom. Now there is no such thing as a boredom. So you don't fill in this with anything. The cup is full. When once it empties itself, you see, it becomes full. It may sound strange. There is a fullness inside you, and so there is no attempt on the part of the mind to fill in this cup with anything, because whatever gets in there, it is automatically thrown out, purified and thrown out. It becomes part of the fullness. So the thoughts come, you see, the thoughts are neither pure nor impure. The thoughts are thoughts, you see, because you don't say that this is a sex. This is a sex thought. You don't say that this is a beautiful thought. You don't say that this is a spiritual thought. You see, they just come and go, like you see the passengers in the station, you know, all kinds of hues, colors. They come through every time they pass this door at the airport station, you know, the electronic eye, it opens and it goes out and finishes, it closes again. So you know that the thought is there because you see your awareness is disturbed. I am looking at you now, I am talking. So now no thought can enter anymore. So if I stop there, perhaps you see there is a possibility of some thought entering. Then you see this attention is disturbed by this. So I become aware of the thought because you see this attention is disturbed. Not because you see there is somebody inside here who says you see the thinker is not there. The thoughts only bring the thinker. This is very correct. You see, the thoughts create the thinker. When the thoughts are not allowed, you see, to take roots there, they are not allowed to stay there, they just go away. So the thinker doesn't come into being at all.
But you said that I see it is true, that seems to be true, that a person in the state that you are describing is for the first time an individual because he's broken away from the structure of society. But you can't.
But how do I know that? You see, that's your next question. How do I know that? You see that I have broken away, but you see, I have become, you see, part of this in a different way. I'm really and totally related with the structure. Then I was not related with the structure at all because I created these frontiers. You see, now there are no frontiers at all. You see, so in a way, you see, I have actually become part of the structure. I don't know, it may sound very paradoxical, because everything is important to me, you see, everything I see, not this particular thing, not this particular idea, not this particular individual. You see, there is no particular relationship, you see, so you see, all relationships are the same. Not that somebody says that all the relationships are the same. Since there is no relationship at all, no particular individual relationship at all, so all relationships are the same. You see, what is relationship? Life is related, you see. I am related to you and you are related to me, you see, as two human beings. That's all. That is all the relationship, I know. So, in a different way, I have actually become part of the whole thing. I have taken in the whole thing, you see. The stepping out and stepping in, you see, is almost at the same time. So, by becoming an individual, you have, you see, become part of the whole. You see, yesterday, you see, by creating this particular small circle around me, I put barriers. And the mind tried, you see, to get over break these barriers and become one. There is no question of becoming one with anything. I am already one with everything, you see, everything around me. See, not that you are trying to become one. There is the unity of life is a facility. The mind talks and thinks in terms of becoming one with this. You have to unite with some life there. So when there is a movement there, you see, of the moment of life there is a movement here at the same time. You see, the movement of the leaf produces a movement in you. You see, this movement is the life movement. All right, life is movement, I can say, make a statement. It's all the philosophers talk of life as a movement. And then is the next question, has it any direction? You see, the philosophers ask the question, and in the Rishi's answer, it seems to have no direction. But actually, all that is silly, turn it around, because you see, I'm not concerned. You see, I'm only concerned with the life, the moment. I'm only aware of the moment. So how can I be concerned of its the direction, or its meaning, or its purpose? These questions are not there for me. I am only aware of this, the moment of life. That's all. How do you know that it's movement? Because something in me is moving. When there is a silence, there is movement. And this moment has come into being as a result of movement around me, the life around me, the animals, the plants, the persons. So all the life around me is moving. So that has produced a movement in me. I am only aware of this movement. So the next question is whether it has a direction, a purpose, a meaning, is not there at all for me. And so this is not my concern at all. It may or have, it may not have. I really don't. It's not in the existentialist sense that I'm talking. It may have, it may not have any meaning. I really don't know. I really don't know. Because I'm not concerned at this moment. Only I'm aware of this life and movement. Its direction is not my concern. The next moment also I am one with the movement. You see, I move from moment to moment to moment to moment. So the direction is not my concern. I'm not looking back. From where have I come here? So the past is not there, the future is not there. This movement is a continuous movement. As long as there is movement around me, there is movement inside me. When there is no movement around me, there is a silence in me. There is a tremendous silence. The valley is all silent. You see, in the night, you see, there is no movement. No leaf moves. You see, nothing moves. And so there is a tremendous silence. So there is silence inside you. It is not the mind that is thinking how silent it is. No, because whatever is there outside you is there inside you. This is not a philosophical concept. You become aware of this in an extraordinary way, which sounds similar to all these statements that all these religious teachers have made before. But they were all words to us, you see, we didn't know, but we imagined them. When it becomes part of yourself, not your own experiencing, you see, there's nobody who is saying, you see. So you are just, when there is a moment there is a moment. When you lift your hand, there is a moment there is a moment inside me, automatically. If there is no moment, there is a stillness inside.
In a way, then there's only an apparent individuality.
There is an apparent, that's what I'm saying. So there's only an apparent, because in a way I have become part. You see, your movement is not that I move my hand. You see, not that I...
Open the window and make how do you find the little hat?
What's your time? You said go to the hospital.
No, you don't right. It's all right. We have to be there at 5. I need to go to the hospital. I'll play this time.
I don't know, I've talked quite a lot, but if it makes any sense.
No, I have some questions to ask you too.
Yes, sir.
Now, you mentioned, when we were discussing last time, you may remember though, I remind you,
Yes.
that you said that when you come,
No, thank you.
that when you come to that point, it's as though you were at a precipice and there were a peak at the other side. And you can't jump over the precipice to find yourself at the peak. But then you are there. So, well, what did you mean there? I didn't understand that neither did Madeline.
I think I described, you see, how I see. You asked me how I got into this state, whatever this state is.
Yes. Maybe we should go back one question first then. Could you describe again, if you can remember it, or as you remember it, exactly the incident or the words or the situation? What was that situation? What were those words that seemed to trigger
this
business in the head?
I think this is...
You were talking, one of those occasional talks.
Yes, I think it is fading out, but anyway, yeah, I will try to recall. Oh yes, yes. The mind is new. This is the experience. The I don't know how to put it. It has said it. Yes, I think you see. They were discussing comparative state of mind.
Yes.
You see, from the beginning, you see the educational gathering. Now I remember it. You see, my mind was. The moment I go and take my seat there, see, And the speaker would begin. He says, whatever the subject was, it didn't matter to me at all. He was talking something, you were asking questions, somebody else was asking some questions. There was the awareness, you see, of the tent, you see. The whole debate, this is not towards the end, you see. Even before he developed the subject, no matter what the subject was, you see, I always stepped into that state of complete awareness, you see. And then that awareness, there was a silence, you see. And so, you see, I was silent, I was listening. You see, I didn't bother about what that man was saying or what questions he was listening. You see, the subject matter didn't interest me at all. You see, I just listened, I was there, I couldn't help it, you see, I happened to be there. And then one day, you see, first two talks, you see, discussed about the school idea didn't interest me at all. You see, my reaction to the whole school business is, if anybody who has understood the significance of what he has been talking, assuming for a moment that one person has understood it, you see, he would start a school of his own. He wouldn't call it, you see, a Krishnamurti school. It's run on Krishnamurti's lines. It's an absurd thing to start a school on Krishnamurti's lines. That was my reaction. There was a reaction at that time. Today there is no reaction. You see, you can start any school in anybody's name. You see, that doesn't interest me. Krishnamurti school or Catholic school or Ramakrishna school or Theosophical school, there are hundreds of schools. So that was my reaction. So the idea of starting a school on Krishnamurti's lines did not interest me at all. So I was not interested when he was talking of starting a school there. If I understood the significance of it all, I would perhaps start a school of my own, and I wouldn't call it Krishnamurti school, you see. And also the idea of, you see, using the boys as a mirror instead of this man who is discussing these problems with tremendous clarity. I have to use this little boy of 7 years old.